I am going to go ahead and get us started. So, hello, Pima family. Welcome to Popcorn with a Program, Fine Arts Edition. My name is Ryan Huffman, and I will be today's moderator. With me, I have Chris Will from our terrific theater. We've got Daryl King and Ann Grimes, who are going to be focusing on the magic of music, and Karina, who primarily focuses on dance, but she's going to be covering the Center for the Arts for us as well today. If I can have you go ahead and take it away, Chris.
All right, thank you so much. We're so excited for this program and having an opportunity to share all the wonderful things that we do in the theater program. Um, basically, what the theater program is, and our mission and our goal and our slogan, would you say, is we offer high quality for a low cost. So if you kind of look at that, if you get a low cost, you expect low quality, right? But that's what's great about our program is we are low cost but have high quality. So our program really is for everyone. We take the community part of community college really seriously in the theater program because theater is the #1 collaborative art form. Um, so, not taking away from any of these other fabulous art forms that we're talking today, but theater is the one art form that shoves a bunch of people in one room and says, you got to collaborate and you got to create your work. And so, in the community, we really are a program for everyone. We have students in our program that are 18 years old, straight out of high school. And we have students who are 65 years old and not straight out of high school, but we treat all of them exactly the same way. And it really makes our program special that we truly are a community college for theater. And what we do with all of those students is one, we treat them the same and equal, but two, we give them an amazing opportunity to participate in the process. For us and the theater, you have to do a show so you can understand the process of completing something. And so here in the theater department, we value the process over the product. And really, the only reason we have a product, you have an opening night, is so you can have an amazing rehearsal to rehearse to that opening night. We have an amazing technical program as well with Andrea Pratt leading our technical and design program. So we have opportunities for not just performers, but for those that love theater but want to wear black and be invisible and stay behind the scenes. Those people are just as important and get an amazing opportunity. Another thing about our program is we have two main performance spaces. So we have a traditional proscenium theater, which seats about 400 people. And that's kind of your traditional where you're sitting in the audience and you're looking at the stage. It's a lot like the film or going to the movie theater, that kind of feeling where I'm here, you're there. That's the proscenium. But then we also have our black box theater, which gives you this like immersive opportunity in storytelling. And so you can have seats on all four sides. And you know what I love about doing a black box show is the audience gets to watch the audience watch the show. Which is always a fun opportunity. If you ever watch someone watch a horror movie, it's actually more fun to watch them watch the show. And so that immersive moment you get when you're doing the black box theater, and that's a lot of fun. We have tons of classes from beginning acting to Shakespeare to actor for the movement. We have a play script analysis class, which is really kind of turned into a playwriting class where students for their final will write a 10-minute play and explore the opportunity for writing. Um,
1 minute.
and so we're just it's a wonderful program to, if you're at all interested in the theater, come partake and take a class and be part of our program. You don't have to be a major to participate in our shows and our classes. But if you have that inkling of you want to perform on stage, Pima Community College can be the place for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. That was wonderful. Next up, we've got Daryl King and Ann Grimes with the Magic of Music.
All right, so I'll just add to what Chris was saying regarding the music program as well. The great thing about coming to Pima is that you get experienced faculty and a small class size and affordable tuition. So affordable tuition is also a great thing. Also, if you're over 55, you know that tuition is 50% off. And here at Pima, we have ensembles for everyone, instrumental and vocal. There is band. We have 2 choirs, chorale, college singers. We have a jazz band. We have orchestra. And Anne will talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. She is our orchestra director. And we also have musical theater workshop, opera workshop. We have things for people who were just starting to sing, that would just like to begin singing. We have voice class, which is MUS 136. And we also have beginning things for the introduction to theory, like music fundamentals, which is MUS 102. Introduction to popular music in America, exploring music. And then there's also things for people that want to get a little more in depth, like regular ear training and oral perception, music theory. And we also have music history, 2 levels of music history and Western music. The 2 choirs that we have chorale, which is MUS 130, and then also MUS 131. Chorale is open to everyone and is non-auditioned. So we invite everyone to come and sing to that. And then we also have college singers, which is a smaller group, more of a chamber mixed voice ensemble that is auditioned. Now, if you're interested in becoming a music major, I'd encourage you also to consider that and to think about coming and auditioning. We just simply require that you sing a song. If you want to be a voice major, for example, you can sing something that is an opera aria or a musical theater piece or an art song. We have a pretty wide variety of things that you can sing. But same thing for a piano and also instrumental, that you can do different things for that. And we encourage you to join our groups, whether you want to be a major or if you just want to participate in music in some way, whether you're a beginner or you're experienced, we have something for you. So I'll pass it over to Anne, who is our full-time music theory and orchestra ensemble person.
Thanks, Daryl. So he really covered a lot of what we offer. Just want to tell you, like, as Chris was saying, you get a lot for your money. It's low cost. It's lots of opportunities here to grow as a musician, to grow in your skills, to grow in your knowledge, to meet people that are like you. You find your people. I want to say specifically that we have had a really good turnout from some older homeschool students who don't have opportunities to be in the music in the public schools. Maybe like when they get to their junior or senior year of high school and they've had a lot of private lessons, they can find their place here at Pima. Those are some of our really great students. And I don't know if Daryl mentioned that if you're a high school student, if you're 16 years old, you're welcome to take classes here, and possibly even younger if you can get special approval on that. Yeah, I do teach the orchestra, and we also attract maybe retired people who just want an enriching experience in playing. Or if you're a musician around town, maybe you're a music teacher, maybe you just want to have a little night where you can play some music with some other people. It's a really great
1 minute.
place. Okay, thank you. And high school students also, we welcome them into the orchestra. That meets once a week on Tuesday nights. So we'd love to have you. For the music theory, we have a really great thing that if you're planning on getting a music degree from the U of A, such as music education, you can take your theory credits here and they'll transfer directly. And we'll give you one-on-one tutoring if you need it. Lots of different experiences in learning the different components of theory. Yeah, and the ear training, Cyril said. So anyway, we have a great staff here, great faculty, and please consider coming out to our facilities.
Thank you both so much for that. That was very informative. And next up, we have Karina. Take it away, Karina.
Hi, I'm actually the marketing coordinator for the arts, but I am covering for Leanne today for dance. So I'm going to go ahead and touch on some of the departments that we didn't talk about. Chris and Daryl talked a little bit, and Ann talked a little bit about the Center for the Arts and the different theaters that we have. One of the other special exhibits we have here is the Luis Carlos Bernal Gallery, which exhibits 4 different exhibits throughout the year. And they're professional artists that are brought in by David Andre, and they're usually artists they're international artists or internationally known artists. There's also a student gallery at the West Campus, and that showcases student work in the spring and the fall. And at the downtown campus, we have the Downtown Art Gallery, and that's located on the 2nd floor above the bookstore. And that showcases one exhibit throughout the year that is student work. And right now they have their lockdown exhibit that just opened last week, or we just had the reception last week. And then there's also the Sculpture on Campus, which is at the East Campus. And those are also artists from around the world, but we do have one student artist that just was presented last year, where her work is up there. She's the first student that's exhibited at that gallery. We also have our digital arts program, which is our web design and graphic design program. There's also film arts and animation, game design and simulation. And that program, you can start creating your portfolio, which gets you ready to start working in the field right away. And there's lots of great like computer software. There's VR headsets for the gaming. There's equipment that you can check out, and you create your own movies or film, and it also gets presented on the Pima Arts YouTube. And then we also have dance. Oh wait, let me talk about fashion. We also have fashion design. So the fashion design program does a spring fashion show every year. Courses are taught by fashion design professionals, and they also just got brand new industrial sewing machines, which are new this year. And the dance program, okay, sorry, let me see. So the dance program has a lot of different types of dance. So there's ballet, modern, hip hop, and jazz. And most of those classes are taken in the new or the well-equipped West Campus studio. That studio is right outside of the cafeteria. Should we show the video? Because in that video, you'll be able to see a lot of the different rooms that we talk about.
Yeah, we've got enough time for that. You want me to go and start it?
Yes.
1, 2, ready, play.
I think the problem in scene 1 is we don't know when to stop being aggressive.
Drag that guy over and up here.
and I should work here.
There's nothing up there. You're wasting your time.
Good, good. So see how he brought you down, right? That's beautiful.
Merge the photo and reposition it into the frame.
Bigger, heavier instrument, heavier bowl.
Like there's so many cool things that we can do with the virtual space that you can't do in a normal traditional classroom.
One, two, one, two, one, two.
Polaroids there, but you can then twist them together after you heat it up.
And we're going to place photos and text in sort of the same pattern, page to page, so that we can learn about creating a master page.
I think this is the best thing I've ever made in my entire demo career. Anyhow.
One, two, three, four, off.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so in that video, you could see some of our spaces. You saw the Black Wax Theater, the Proscenium Theater, and then you also saw some of the visual art spaces, which we do have a structures and metal shop. So you saw when they were pouring the metal. That was at our sculpture and metal shop. We also have a ceramic studio and a photography studio as well. And there's a dark room and a printmaking studio. And
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right. So I do have one final follow-up question for everybody, and we'll start with Chris. We'll start off with how can I be successful in these classes or your program?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I talk about this all the time. The students are in control of their own success. So really for a theater class, if you do the work and you show up to class, you will be successful. The ones that don't do those, it's harder for me to teach you theater if you don't do the work and you show up. And that's really the attributes that every good actor needs to have is show up and be ready to work. And if you do those two things in my classes and all the classes in the theater, you will be very successful.
Thank you. Daryl, how about for you? How can I be successful in the music classes?
Yeah, so it's very much the same kind of thing. If you attend class and you come ready to do the work, you're going to succeed. So I always start my classes and I'm always like, help me to give you an A. So make sure you come to class, come ready to do your work, and yeah, there won't be any issues. So if you don't attend, then then it's a little more difficult, but as you can imagine. Because often a lot of the things, for example, choir and things like that, it's teamwork. So when one member of the team doesn't come, it makes it much more difficult for the rest to have to pull that up. I'm sure theaters very similar to that, and orchestra and guitar ensemble and all the ensembles are very similar like that. We work as a team. And so when one member of the team doesn't communicate or doesn't come, well, then that makes it difficult on all the others, and it makes it difficult often to perform the whole piece with a part missing. So show up and show up with a positive attitude and ready to do your work, and we'll have a great time learning about music. Yeah.
Thank you. Karina, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
No, it's the same as Chris and Daryl. Our faculty really are able to improve. I feel like every student improves so much throughout the year. You really can come in being a beginner in any of these fields, and our faculty really do help you grow where you wouldn't think you were a beginner. Like you suddenly do feel intermediate or advanced, like they're able to just pull that out of you.
Thank you. All right, and this one we'll do it in reverse order. What are the job prospects like for graduates of these programs? We'll start with Karina, who probably has the most ground to cover.
Most of our programs are pathways, so you would be able to get your degree going to another college afterwards. There are a few programs that are certificate programs where you are able to get a job straight from getting your certificate. I believe those are all in digital arts, are the only ones that we have right now that have those certificates. But a lot of those students also transferred to the U of A or to another college, and they're building their portfolio here at Pima.
Thank you. And Daryl.
The majority of our students also transfer through the pathway program, either to NAU or the U of A or ASU. A lot of our graduates go on to become music educators. So that's good, because we need more of us out there to create the next group. Also, a lot of the students that I teach go out and do local performances. So they work in their local churches as perhaps music directors, or bolstering their choir program as a paid singer, or also working in theatrical or musical programs locally.
Thank you. And Chris.
Yeah, so in theater, the jobs are called gigs, and gigs like come and go, and they may be a month and then they're done, or maybe a year and then they're done. So we actually have a goal for all our theater students to get jobs or gigs in the community, paid professional jobs while they're still students at Pima. So we have an auditions class that we have where we bring in most of the professional theaters, and they do real auditions for those companies. And this year already, we've had 9 students get real jobs through those auditions. So our goal is really to get those kind of first jobs while you're at Pima, so then we can help you figure out how to navigate that through life. And so those are kind of like the little gigs here and there that everybody will do. I still do. I still go out into the community and get a little gig here and a little gig there. But then like music, similar to music, your full-time job will either be teaching or working for a professional company, kind of like Karina does, where you're doing kind of the behind-the-scenes stuff for these bigger companies while you're waiting for these other little gig jobs to come up.
Thank you. And a big round of applause for all of our wonderful subject matter experts today. We appreciate all of your time and energy, and we hope to see you at the next Popcorn with the Program.